Coming up on NABJ News, why selfies are stopping students from voting. Plus, cannabis on campus. Hemp makes its way to North Carolina A&T State University. Also, how local resource centers are helping at-risk teenagers. You're watching NABJ News.
Hello, and welcome to NABJ News. I'm Deja Bickham.
And I'm Courtney Wallen. Voting may be difficult this year for some North Carolina college students.
Currently, students are able to upload their picture IDs, but that may change soon. A&T and UNCG are among the 12 schools affected. NABJ's Christiana Ford caught up with students to get their reactions.
In 2018, North Carolina enacted a new law outlining which identification cards are acceptable to vote. Now, some of those cards issued by colleges and universities banned in the next election.
I definitely think it's unfair, especially me being an out-of-state student.
North Carolina A&T State University, just one of 12 schools in the UNC system whose IDs fall short of the new standards. Did you hear anything from them that you wouldn't be able to use your voter ID, your ID card?
No, I was never told that.
A&T freshman Keon Polk impacted by the new law.
I think it takes a toll on a lot of people because it's a lot of people who don't have state IDs, including myself. And I feel like I should have a say-so and be able to choose who I want to elect.
Two things tripped up this Aggie One card in the state system. One, there wasn't enough information attached with the card to confirm identity. And two, students were able to submit their own photos to the card.
A state ID costs $13, but sophomore Kyla Guyon believes it's about much more than that.
It's disheartening because one, we didn't always have voter ID laws, and voter ID laws are historically racist. And specifically with this campus, we already have other political issues going on.
I mean, $13 isn't much, but I can really say I haven't had the time to go get it, but I haven't really thought about it because I haven't really needed it.
In Greensboro, Christiana Ford, NABJ News.
It's unclear what steps the universities involved might take to get the clearance to use ID cards for voting. A&T leaders sent letters to the State Board of Elections asking for reconsideration. We've reached out to administrators, but we haven't heard back.
Money from the college admissions scandal will be redirected at Wake Forest University. The school's former volleyball coach, Bill Ferguson, and 49 others are charged in the scandal. The president of Wake Forest announced that money seized in the scheme will now go to the Magnolia Scholarship. That money can now help first-generation students at the university.
A Randolph County woman is being accused of lying about having cancer. Deputies say Amy Hammer scammed the community into donating money for her treatments through a Facebook page called Amy's Promise. A church in Randolph County scheduled a fundraiser for her, but that's canceled. Charges in the case are pending.
Imagine getting accepted to the school of your dreams, but can't afford the cost of housing. The issue has left some students going to extremes just to get by. NABJ's Monica Manny talked to some who are even breaking the law to get around this issue.
I spoke by phone to Kanae Golder, who was frustrated, hurt, and confused.
It made me angry because I'm like, I don't understand why she can't stay with me.
Golder's girlfriend needed financial aid for housing at North Carolina A&T, but she didn't get it, leaving her homeless.
Her trying to find a place to stay was hurting me because I was like, I know you're trying to stay in school. Because she's been through a lot.
For people who have nowhere to go, it can be hard to find a safe place. Youth Focus is working to combat that.
Our goal is to make sure that, tonight a youth that's in our shelter program has a place to stay.
There are over 2,000 homeless youth here in Guilford County. And while we know the exact numbers here, experts say there's no way to track homeless college students here on campus.
You don't know where you're going to sleep night to night, and so every single night you're being like, oh, hey, can I crash with you? Oh, hey, can I crash with you? And every single day you're trying to find somewhere to stay.
That makes it hard to track homeless students, and college reaction doesn't help.
They called the police. The next morning they came to my door, and it was just irritating to me.
Esther says this problem can be solved by creating more safe places on college campuses. There are none at colleges now.
You're working with youth who have been through a lot.
Esther says she is currently working to establish safe places at UNC Greensboro and hopes to see them on every campus.
We are providing true safety and security.
In Greensboro, Monica Manny, NABJ News.
Safe place signs can be found at many locations, including YMCAs, fire stations, and libraries. Any youth in need of services can stop by free of charge.
Fentanyl overdoses are on the rise in the African American community. That's according to a new report by the Center for Disease Control and Prevention. Fentanyl is the deadliest drug in America, killing more than 18,000 people in 2016. The CDC says the problem has affected mostly white communities. Fentanyl laced with other drugs is blamed for the most overdoses.
There's an interesting new plant growing at North Carolina A&T's garden this year.
It's essentially weed, and a statewide push to mass produce cannabis may lead to more of it popping up around the state. I spoke with a student farmer about what this could mean for North Carolina.
Check out this university greenhouse. It's just 3 miles from campus and it's growing the plant that makes pot. But Jared Villa is harvesting hemp to make cannabinoid or CBD products. They are legal and won't give you a buzz.
So marijuana is a lot higher in THC. CBD is a lot more prevalent inside of industrial hemp and not so much THC.
And CBD has plenty of uses.
People apply CBD on candies. You put it into topicals, into lotions, soaps, etc. Personally, after a long day in the field, my hands get a little cramped, and sometimes it's good to just go ahead and just rub a little CBD ointment on the night before so I can keep working the next day.
This is one of the products that Jared was talking about. It's called a Hemp Balm Pain Freeze. I bought it here for about $15. You just open it up and rub it on your skin. Jared wishes products like this were around for his grandfather who battled cancer, so he could have tried it.
And a lot of the drugs he was on when he was on his final days were very rough on the body. It's been nice to have other options on the market at the time for him to be able to try to make his experience going through chemotherapy a little bit more pleasant.
And with a little more time and awareness, Jared Villa hopes hemp will grow out of its misconceptions and into a flourishing industry here in North Carolina.
I hope one day we can just kind of remove the stigma associated with hemp and separate it from marijuana completely and try to establish a new respect.
Commissioner Steve Troxler's newly proposed farm legislation may allow North Carolina to be a strong competitor in the CBD industry.
R. Kelly's legal turmoil has put a strain on his finances.
Next, the intervention he's hoping to get from a judge.
Here at AWOL Fitness, where it's more than just a gym, but a way of life. Coming up here, how the owner of this gym is telling his story across the triad about going from prison to prosperity.
I'm Gabrielle Cook, and this is the A&T Historical Minute. Harrison Auditorium is the largest theater on A&T's campus and sets the stage for a variety of productions.
Built in 1939, Harrison Auditorium is named after former drama department chair Richard Barry Harrison. After spending 8 years at A&T, Harrison was called to Broadway to star in the role of DeLaude in the production of Green Pastures. In 2005, Harrison went through a $4 million renovation, which added 5 bathrooms, expanded the stage, and improved the seating capacity to 963. Harrison Auditorium is home to the nationally ranked A&T theater company, the Richard B. Harrison Players. Its stage is used throughout the year for events such as Aggies and Poets and many other student and local productions.
Check this out. Shaquille O'Neal is now the new face of Papa John's. Shaq will serve on the board of directors and is investing in 9 Papa John's franchises in Atlanta. Papa John's founder and spokesman John Shatter resigned in July after a phone conversation leaked of him using the N-word. Since that scandal, Papa John's sales have taken a hit. Shaq says he wants to create a culture where people are loved, welcomed, and accepted.
Tyson's is recalling 69,000 pounds of its ready-to-eat chicken. The recall is in response to possible pieces of metal found in the chicken strips. If you have any of these 20-pound chicken cases or 25-ounce plastic bags in your freezer, you can return them to the store you bought them from. So far, no injuries have been reported. Food Truck Friday is another reason to count down to the weekend.
You can make your way downtown from 11 to 2 on Friday afternoons to enjoy some of your favorite food trucks in the Piedmont Triad area.
Reporter Stephanie Douglas caught up with food trucks you should try.
A Friday favorite returns to the Triad. Food Truck Friday is full of food and flavor, and every Friday through September you can be sure to catch a variety to satisfy your midday cravings. Off the hook seafood and chicken brings a little twist to what the city is missing.
We don't have much seafood for downtown Greensboro, and then people want something a little different other than just traditional hamburgers, hot dogs. So bring some seafood, and everybody loves some good hot fresh fish on Friday.
Brady's Coffee Company, whose home base is an hour away in Mount Airy, comes to Greensboro to build up their customer base and more.
Well, Greensboro has been making great improvements to their downtown area, and we've been kind of impressed by that, and it's drawn us to want to build a relationship with Greensboro.
For the last 2 years, Greensboro Parks has held Food Truck Fridays to give professionals and upcoming professionals a taste of what the city has to offer.
We're just trying to do our part to ensure that Greensboro remains a vital community and that our young professionals and graduating college students consider us when looking to start their profession.
It is a tasty way to keep people around the town when there are so many other delicious options to choose from. In downtown Greensboro, I'm Stephanie Douglas with NABJ News.
Center City Park will host Food Truck Friday every Friday until September. You can pick up your lunch at 200 North Elm Street between 11 and 2 p.m.
A local bakery is named the best place in North Carolina to get a cupcake. Maxie B's Bakery and Cafe in Greensboro is the #1 place in the state to get a cupcake. That's according to an online travel website, Strange Carolinas. The local bakery beat 10 different bakeries from all across North Carolina. Want to know the best way to prepare for the weather next week?
Take a look at your weather forecast across the Piedmont Triad from NABJ's Tony Betton Jr.
That's right, Deja and Courtney. The sun will come out today. There will be clear skies on this beautiful Saturday, so grab your friends, your family, and you go enjoy yourself, even if it's by yourself. Now, tomorrow on Sunday, it's going to be partly cloudy with a high of 68, a low with about 34 degrees. Now, there will be some rainy conditions starting around the following 2 days in the afternoon. Monday will still be warm, having a high of 67 with a low of 48. Now, it'll be feeling a little breezy on that Tuesday, but come Wednesday and Thursday, the sun will be back out. No clouds in the sky, so you enjoy yourself. Now, Deja and Courtney, back to you.
Thanks, Tony. Kylie Jenner and Jordan Woods are still on the outs, but this actually spells success for one of them. Find out how next.
Can you feel it? The feeling that this building brings out. It roams all through these sacred halls. It's always been here, and it's essential to our history. It's in every class. The students feel it, and even our professors feel it too. It guides us to constantly strive for excellence and to transform the ordinary into something that is extraordinary.
Comes on, 2K Airy. This is.
It brings out the best in us, and it forces us to face the world with our heads held high. Because here, nothing less than your best is accepted. So if you can feel it too, you need to be here. Here at North Carolina A&T State University, journalism and mass communication.
R&B singer R. Kelly has an odd request as controversy swirls around him. He recently asked a judge to travel to Dubai. R. Kelly argues he can make money in his scheduled performances to pay child support and other fees. The singer was back in a Chicago courtroom Friday for a hearing on sexual abuse allegations. The district attorney charged him after several victims made accusations against him in a documentary. Kelly says he is not guilty. The singer owes $161,000 in back child support. A judge is considering his request to travel overseas.
A man who spent 10 years behind bars now wants to share his story with students. Lynch Hunt went from drug dealer to life coach. He's coming to North Carolina A&T State University. NABJ's Tony Betton Jr. has why.
They built a case against me, and here I was, United States government versus Lynch Hunt, facing 10 years to life.
His story is not only inspiring, but empowering. Coach Lynch is the owner of AWOL Fitness in Greensboro. He's a transformation specialist and motivational speaker here in the Triad.
I was the kind of guy who always did things right, but didn't always do the right thing.
Coach Lynch was the former ringleader of an $8.3 million cocaine ring in New Jersey. The feds broke it up, sending Hunt to federal prison. He says he found his freedom while behind bars.
I actually took that time to recreate me, reinvent me, so that I could take advantage and full advantage of all the opportunities that I would have upon my release.
I talked with some of AWOL's trainers about their experience with Coach Lynch and how he's inspiring them.
The work he's putting in, I like to look at it as him breaking generational curses. I feel like my son may have a promising future because of men like him.
His new book signing and documentary screening is called From Prison to Prosperity.
That's what Prison to Prosperity is all about. Me showing people how I survived all these different struggles and how I transferred them into my life now instead of using them as excuses or things that hinder me from moving forward in my life.
Now, if you're looking for inspiration and how to change your way of life in a positive manner, then it's all going to happen right here at Harrison Auditorium on the campus of North Carolina A&T State University this Sunday. Here in Greensboro, I'm Tony Benton Jr., NABJ News.
Coach Lynch is now 43 years old, and he's partnering with various organizations that support prison reform. Auburn, New Mexico State, those are just two schools that show how mad March Madness can get.
NABJ's Kennedy Thorne is here with the breakdown.
The men's tournament just finished round one. After 32 games and tens of millions of brackets created, only 16 brackets remain in perfect condition. This is a big deal. The NCAA says that this is out of their brackets and also out of those made through ESPN, CBS, Yahoo, Fox, and Sports Illustrated. Good luck to those still in the running. And it's not just the men tournament that's on a roll, but Greensboro will host the Sweet 16 and Elite 8 rounds of the women's NCAA tournament next week. Fans will pack Greensboro Coliseum to watch their favorite teams play. Rounds in this area start Saturday, March the 30th. Hey, look at this. There are some new faces that are calling the shots in this Women's History Month. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers just became the first NFL team to hire 2 full-time female assistant coaches. Other teams have had women on staff, but only one at a time. The Bucs are the first to have 2. Congrats to them. Deja and Courtney, back to you.
We found a really good reason to show you a video of lots of puppies.
We know, but we promise it's worth it. Stay tuned.
This is an A&T Historical Minute, and I am William Robson. The Corbett Sports Center opened December 3rd, 1978. It is named after Ellis F. Corbett, a 1931 graduate of A&T. Officially known as Mr. A&T, his official title was Sports Information Director. He performed many other roles on campus, including dorm counselor, and he was a member of the board in control of intercollegiate athletics. The 3-story complex includes office space, classrooms, and 2 racquetball courts, in addition to an Olympic-sized swimming pool. Corbett also houses many of the human performance and leisure study courses at A&T. The Corbett Sports Center is the current home of the North Carolina A&T men and women's basketball teams and the swimming team. This has been a Historical Minute, and I am William Robson.
Keeping up with the Kardashians is now more like keeping up with Jordyn Woods, and Wendy Williams has become her own hot topic. Here's NABJ's Sienna Reeves with your entertainment roundup.
You'll probably know the name Jordyn Woods by now. She's a friend to Khloe Kardashian and a big social media influencer. But she fell out with the family over allegations that she had some inappropriate interactions with NBA player dating Kylie's sister, Khloe. The scandal doesn't seem to be hurting Jordyn's pockets at all. Since the controversy stirred up, Jordyn has gotten all kinds of deals, and she may even have her own makeup line. The world was watching when talk show host Wendy Williams admitted she is living in a sober house because of drug abuse. Now we're hearing more from her husband. Kevin Hunter spoke to Entertainment Tonight saying, quote, "Wendy is doing well. We're doing well as a family. We are moving forward with working on her sobriety and doing the work to help others, not just ourselves. Earlier this month, the couple started a new hotline for people dealing with addiction. That number is 888-5-HUNTER. So many people have gone to the new horror movie. Jordan Peele created and directed the movie. He's also the genius behind the blockbuster Get Out. Us is about a black family who is targeted by a family who looks just like them. It stars Lupita Nyong'o, Winston Duke, and Elizabeth Moss. Us made more than $7 million in its opening night. It's expected to have one of the best opening of any horror movie. I am so excited to see the movie this week, and I cannot wait. What do you guys think about it?
Thanks, Sienna. I definitely can't wait. Courtney, you know I love Jordan Peele, so I have to see this movie. What about you?
Well, you know, I'm too scared for horror movies, so I'll use my weekend to catch up on some volunteering.
Oh, how noble of you.
You know me, just spreading goodwill.
Well, speaking of goodwill, the chain store is helping local high school students prepare for the biggest night of their lives. Goodwill is hosting Project Prom today to help relieve the financial burden for students. They can buy dresses, shoes, and accessories for Goodwill prices. The event will be held today at the Goodwill on North Elm Street in Greensboro. That's not far from Pisgah Church Road. This is no joke. Starting on April 1st, there will be an entire month dedicated to beer. NABJ's Gabrielle Cook caught up with a Greensboro brewery. They told us how they're getting ready for next month.
A local distillery making craft beer.
Just as a way to try and stand out, we try to come up with different unique combinations, but we also try to make sure that none of the beers taste like a gimmick.
Pryor Brewing is mixing together the next new brew.
As a Thai shrimp goza, it's a sour German wheat beer that we put dried shrimp in and cucumber and grapefruit.
Their flavors, exotic. Their ingredients, local.
We use 100% North Carolina malt. All of the malt that we use is malted in Durham.
Pryor makes hundreds of brews, but one beer is a little bit foolish.
And we're brewing a double that's got a bunch of donuts in the mash, and then we're gonna do a lot of different dumb stuff to it between now and when we actually release it. We're gonna put glitter in it. We're gonna use like boba tea, little tapioca pearl.
Pryor Brewing Company will be celebrating North Carolina Beer Month with a new flavor of craft each week. So come out and give it a try between April 1st and April 30th. In Greensboro, I'm Gabrielle Cook, NABJ News.
And Beer Month is a big deal in North Carolina with more than 260 breweries and brew pubs in the state.
There's a day on the calendar for just about everything. One for ice cream and one for siblings.
Today we want to make room for puppies. As NABJ's Micah Bledsoe reports, local shelters and pet shops hope at least one of theirs grabs your heart.
These dogs need a home. Thomas, a dog lover, says it's important to bring awareness to dogs in shelters.
There are dogs in the wild that really need help.
It's licking the thing. Here at a pet shop in Greensboro, Thomas and his sister are admiring the puppies. Their family has 2 rescues at home. Anna says she hopes more dogs find families like hers to go home to.
I think that people should really be aware of it so that they can find really good loving homes.
The day brings up more than cute puppies. Over the past 3 years, more than 2,700 animals have been brought to the Guilford County Animal Services Shelter for different reasons.
It varies. It's usually not the same one, but lifestyle changes. Either I've lost my job or I've gotten a new job and I have to move.
That number has decreased, but the shelter's director, Jorge Ortega, says more people should adopt and not shop.
Because there's some great dogs, some great cats here just waiting for those new homes.
On Saturday, the Guilford County Animal Shelter will host a mobile pet adoption at the Pig Pounder Brewery from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. In Greensboro, Micah Bledsoe, NABJ News.
The creators of National Puppy Day started it in the United States in 2006. Now it's recognized around the world. For NABJ News, I'm Courtney Wallen.
And I'm Deja Bickham. Thanks for watching.